Good afternoon, Lance Drew. My name is Mihiraa. Let's start the warm-up session. Describe your typical working day.
My day starts with a prayer. After completing my daily routines, I reach my workstation by 7:30. Before taking the handover, I complete my inventories and update the crash cart medication and dressing trolley. After receiving the handover, I interact with my patients to identify their health needs. Based on my assessment plan, a nursing care plan, and provide quality care for my patients. Afterward, I assist the physician in his work and carry out necessary clinical orders. Meanwhile, I find some time to interact with my colleagues and maintain a good rapport with them. My duty ends by 3:30 after giving a handover to the next scheduled staff members.
What are the pieces of advice for the upcoming nurses?
As a nurse, I can give a bunch of advice to upcoming nurses. Firstly, I advise them to love their profession. If anyone loves their profession, they can carry out their responsibilities in an efficient manner without complaints. Apart from that, I advise them to be dedicated to their profession and maintain professional standards. These are very essential because a nurse should abide by nursing ethics on any grounds. These are a few pieces of advice that I like to give to future nurses.
How do you handle the stress of the job?
To handle the stress of the job, I prioritize self-care and seek support from colleagues and loved ones. I maintain a healthy work-life balance by scheduling regular breaks, engaging in activities I enjoy outside of work, and practicing stress relief techniques such as mindfulness or exercise. Additionally, I make sure to communicate openly with my colleagues about any challenges I'm facing and seek their advice and support when needed. Taking time to decompress and recharge allows me to approach my work with renewed energy and focus, ultimately ensuring that I can continue to provide the best possible care to my patients.
Discuss the personal attributes that make you especially qualified as a nurse.
I am extremely detail-oriented. Whether I'm charting and keeping records, noting patient conditions, or administering medication, I always double-check my work. Efficiency is important, but not at the expense of accuracy, and I believe in removing as many barriers to accurate care as I possibly can. I am also very observant. I tend to notice the details about patients' conditions that others miss. Whether it's a glassy look in their eye or a certain way they are clutching their abdomen, I look for and record details that may offer clues into the causes behind a patient's condition.
How will you make a positive impact on the nursing profession?
There are different ways to contribute to making a positive impact on the nursing profession. Creating feedback forms as forms helps us secure and promote our jobs and give us the motivation to work hard. Nurses deserve better working standards and benefits for their hard work. Therefore, listen carefully to what nurses have to say to light down the workload. Additionally, provides continuing education for all to make us stay updated to be the best always.
Your preparation time is over. You can now start your roleplay.
Good morning, my name is Lance Drew, and I'll be your attending nurse here today. Please verify your name and age, please.
My name is Mihiraa and I am 52 years old.
Could you please confirm the reason for your visit?
Sure, I'm here for the preoperative assessment as I am scheduled for pacemaker surgery.
Thank you for your confirmation. I'm going to take you through your preoperative assessment. I can hear some concern in your voice, and that's completely understandable. How are you feeling today?
Oh. I'm alright, I suppose, but honestly, I've been feeling really anxious about this whole surgery. The idea of having a pacemaker put in it's a bit overwhelming.
That's completely understandable, Mihiraa. Pacemaker surgery can sound intimidating, but I assure you, you're not alone in feeling this way. My goal today is to answer any questions or concerns you have, help ease your worries, and ensure you feel as prepared and comfortable as possible. You're here for your preoperative assessment, and this is a perfect opportunity to address any thoughts or uncertainties you might have about the upcoming surgery. Is there anything specific on your mind right now that you'd like to talk about?
Well, yes, I'm just not sure how safe the surgery is. I mean, it's heart surgery, right? That sounds serious. And I'm also wondering about what life will be like after. Will I be able to get back to normal things?
I can completely relate to those concerns, Mihiraa. Let me start by reassuring you that pacemaker surgeries are very safe and routine these days. They're performed regularly, and the surgical team that will be working with you is highly skilled. The pacemaker itself is a small device that helps regulate your heart's rhythm, ensuring it beats at a normal rate. The procedure is typically done under local anesthesia, and it usually takes about an hour or so. The pacemaker is placed just under the skin near your collarbone, and from there, it's connected to your heart using thin wires. It's a minimally invasive procedure, and because it's so common, the risk of complications is very low. After the surgery, you will need to take it easy for a short period of time while your body heals. For instance, there will be some restrictions on heavy lifting or vigorous activity for the first few weeks. However, most people return to their regular activities gradually. You'll be able to go for walks, do household chores, and do physiotherapy after you've recovered fully.
That's somewhat reassuring to hear. What about right after the surgery though? How long will I need to stay in the hospital? And how soon will I have to come back for a follow-up?
I completely understand, Mihiraa. It's natural to be concerned about how the surgery might affect your daily life, but let me assure you, while there are some temporary restrictions, you'll be able to return to most of your normal activities fairly quickly. After the surgery, you'll stay in the hospital for about 1 to 2 days, during which time we'll closely monitor your heart and the pacemaker to ensure everything is functioning as expected. We want to make sure you're comfortable and healing well before you go home. When you're discharged, we'll give you all the information you need for your recovery. It's important to keep the wound area clean and dry to prevent infection, and we'll show you how to care for it. You might feel some discomfort or swelling around the incision site, but this is normal and should subside within a few days. We'll provide you with pain relief if needed, and you can always reach out if anything doesn't feel right. As for follow-up visits, we'll schedule your first one a few weeks after the procedure to check on how you're healing and make sure the pacemaker is working properly. After that, Mihiraa, follow-ups are typically minimal, and you won't need to come in too frequently.
That's a relief to hear. I was worried it might mean constant trips to the hospital.
I understand that adjusting to life with a pacemaker might feel overwhelming at first, but Mihiraa, the good news is that after the initial recovery, most people find it doesn't interfere much with their day-to-day life. For the first few weeks after surgery, you'll need to avoid heavy lifting and any strenuous activity to give your body time to heal. But don't worry, you'll still be able to do light household chores, go for gentle walks, and even start light physiotherapy if necessary. It's all about taking it slow and listening to your body. One important thing to keep in mind is to avoid strong electromagnetic fields, which can interfere with the pacemaker. This means things like large industrial equipment, MRI machines, and very high-power magnets. However, most of the everyday technology you encounter, like microwaves, mobile phones, and metal detectors, are perfectly safe. Once you've healed, life will return to normal for the most part. You'll be able to resume your daily activities, and will guide you on any long-term precautions.
So, will I have to change my lifestyle completely? I have heard a lot of restrictions to face after the surgery.
I know there's a lot of information out there about pacemakers, Mihiraa, and it's common for people to think that they require frequent follow-ups, constant maintenance, or that they'll impose many restrictions on your life. But in reality, pacemakers are designed to be very low-maintenance devices. After your surgery in the initial recovery period, you'll have just a few routine checkups, often only once a year, to ensure everything is working smoothly. There's no need for frequent hospital visits or constant adjustments. The device is built to adapt to your body and requires minimal attention from you. As for device maintenance, the pacemaker's battery lasts a long time, usually anywhere from 7 to 15 years, depending on how much the device is used to regulate your heart. It's also worth mentioning that the lifestyle restrictions are much less than people often imagine. You can continue living your life much as you did before. After the initial healing period, you'll be able to do most physical activities, go back to work, and enjoy hobbies as usual. The pacemaker won't hold you back. I hope this clears up some of the misconceptions.
Thank you, Lance. That means a lot.
You're very welcome, Mihiraa. We'll make sure you're well prepared for the surgery and the recovery ahead.